Now we move on to video 11, which deals with the wedding feast. And this is also an interesting parable of the kingdom of heaven within you. And I must emphasize that the parable is about the kingdom of heaven within you. Now remember, the parable says a king is having a wedding feast for his son who took a bride. And he prepared the reception hall with decorations and hired musicians to play, and food was ordered for the invited guests. And then God sent out his invitations to the people. The king sent out the invitations to the people to come to his feast, his wedding feast, to celebrate the wedding of his son to a bride. Of course, you would invite first of all family, close relatives, close friends, and then distant friends. But the story goes on, the parable tells us that the family and close friends turned down the invitation because they claimed they had something better to do. So what happened in the parable was the king, having prepared all this paraphernalia for a wedding reception, decided to send his messengers and to invite anybody by the wayside, because he did not want anything to go to waste. And this they did, and they were able to get a full house of people from the wayside who came to the wedding feast. Now in those days, when you're invited to a wedding feast, you're given a garment to wear, and this identifies you as an invitee. So they all came into the reception hall and they had a ball, and they enjoyed themselves as much as they can. And after some time, the king came to visit the festival, the wedding feast. And when he came in, the first thing he noticed was there was one guest who wasn't wearing the wedding garment, that piece of clothing that identifies him as an invitee. Immediately, the king orders his henchmen to bind him and throw him out of the reception. Now, this is a parable of the wedding feast, and it is a parable about the kingdom of heaven within you. I keep emphasizing this. This earthly parable is outside of you, but it is explaining the kingdom of heaven within you, and we will apply the principles. The kingdom of heaven is the reception hall. God prepared it, and he put his food in it, that is the word of God. And the musicians and the parts of the kingdom of heaven, the mind, the soul, the heart. And the festival went on, and who is the son of God, and who is the bride? Now the king represents God, the Son of God is the Word of God, and the bride is the mind of God. So this was how the wedding came about. When you join two things together, it is a union. And a union here was used to explain a wedding. But it's not really a physical wedding. So, we are all operating and having a ball in this kingdom of heaven while we are here on earth. Eventually, at some point in time, God will come himself to the wedding feast that is going on all now. And when he does come, he will throw out the improperly dressed guest, who is the ego or the Satan in man, and he will clean his kingdom of heaven within, the reception hall where everything is going on. So this is how the parable of the wedding feast is interpreted. And This is again, as I say, a festival about the wedding feast and the kingdom of heaven within you. So the kingdom of heaven is like a hall where you have a wedding feast. We move on.